Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm leaving. It's Friday, right? Happy Friday. And so let me get this out of the way early before you get to your active hooliganism and doing all sorts of tomfoolery and skating around and flitting about, like my granny would say. Remember that wherever you go, wherever you find to have your happy hour spaces, we want you here from Freedom March to consider one thing. That is only participating in or acting in a manner that does not add to or take away from the population this weekend. That is what we require from you here on Freedom March. And so wherever you find yourselves doing, God knows what, just try to see if you can keep at the fore of your mind that leave and say that as long as I out here this weekend, actively engage in hooliganism, all of my actions ought to either not take away from, nor should it add to the population of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And if you can get that done for us, we would be most grateful, and we'd be so happy to join with you here again next week on Freedom March. So I always like to get that out of the way early. I also got one other thing to get out of the way early. If you want tickets from Freedom March or from any one of our sister shows here on 103.5 FM, The Beat, for the Pulled Pork Festival during this week, the ticket them downstairs. Come collect them. Otherwise than that, I'm giving them away. I'm not leaving any ticket here when I leave today because I don't want anybody trying to call me or trying to get in contact with me or God knows what in order to get these tickets. I also have 5 more tickets it is to give away today, Spiritual Advisor, and I'm going to do that as early as possible. So when we get back, we'll do the scripture. I'll open the lines. We could talk about some of the things we did yesterday so I can have an opportunity to give away some of these tickets. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Outside of that, Bradley Roll joins me in studio. Bradley Roll, Spiritual Advisor. How are you?
Doing well, thank you so much.
It's a Friday.
It's Friday evening, yes.
The people them tired of waking.
It's the weekend.
They hear the disco playing.
Yeah.
What the song say after that? The telly operator, Mr. Telly Operator. What did it say?
I can't remember. It's a song that's been years and years ago.
The Spiritual Advisor. I've got my whistle, so when I see things that are getting out of hand, we're doing more of that here on Freedom March today. Don't go anywhere though. You hear the jingle. I'm leaving Miller. Bradley Roll is with me. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. This is Freedom March. You're listening to us on channel 103.5 FM The Beat, or maybe 224, or maybe 112, or on ILTV Studios, wherever you are listening to us, though. Thank you so much for listening. Bradley Rowe, the spiritual advisor, is with me in studio, and Bradley has Holy Scripture for us. Bradley?
Yeah, definitely. Good afternoon, everybody. And of course, welcome to Freedom March, everyone. It's a Friday evening, of course. And you've kind of like confused some people about, well, we know what hooliganism means.
Yeah.
But now, people are saying that they thought you wanted to add to the population.
No.
Because we have a very small population.
Yeah.
And we want Bahamians in particular to have more children.
Right.
But when you look at this rowdy behavior of hooliganism,
Right.
it's normally from gangs, basically.
Okay.
That's what I'm understanding. And so we don't want gang children, eh?
No.
Right. And then we don't want gangs killing one another.
Right.
So that's my understanding of you don't want to add to
Or take away from.
or subtract.
Right.
So a lot of folks are kind of confused.
Okay.
They say, well, and doesn't Levan want the Bahamas population to increase? So why is he saying?
Yeah, but we ain't want no more Pookie them. Right.
That's the point.
Right.
That's the point. So I think we've cleared that up.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure it out too, man. But, you know, and I understood it in a way, but...
Do you know what it means when you go traipsing about?
Traipsing.
Yeah, my grandma used to tell my girl cousins, right?
All
She
about
used to
causing trouble?
say, no, she said, y'all just going about traipsing about. It's kind of like, you know, like y'all going around fan and tail, old people say. You know what fan and tail?
Causing problems, eh?
No, it's like you're out, you're having too much of a good time.
Oh.
Especially as a woman. You know, so boys is go gallivanting, right? Girls is go traipsing about.
So when the fellas go gallivanting, what's their objective?
To vant a gal.
And so when the woman go tracing about, what's her objective?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. But
Yeah.
But my grandma always used to say, y'all cut that bunch of fan-tailing out. Especially if because I grew up in a yard full of male cousins. So, you know, male cousins naturally lead to boys out of the neighborhood coming out of our house. And when the boys would come outside, the girl cousins would try to come outside. My grandma said, that's enough of that traipsing about out there. All that bunch of fan-tailing, you all come inside here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, come from around the boys. Don't go there fan and tail. You see?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so they would call the girl children inside to put an end to that fan and tail outside.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So today we're going to look at an allegory that the Apostle Paul uses in the book of Galatians chapter 4 and trying to establish the difference between the two covenants, one from Mount Sinai and that one from Jerusalem. I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you go to the Old Testament, in the book of Genesis, you look at chapter 16, 17, possibly a part of chapter 18, you're going to hear about Abraham, you're going to hear about Sarah, and you hear about Hagar. Now here's what is interesting. Both Hagar and Sarah were Abraham's wives. Now, Sarah, who was Abraham's first wife, she was barren and she couldn't have any children. So she was the one who suggested that her husband, Abraham, sleep with the maid, Hagar, so that she could produce children for him. And so Sarah gave her maid, Hagar, to Abraham, and she became his wife. And so he slept with Hagar, and she got pregnant. And she gave birth to a son, and his name was Ishmael. And then some jealousy started happening in the house, and this and that and the next, and Sarah started getting on Abraham and say, man, would you cause this? Nah, this woman teasing me and this, that, and the next. And so Sarah ended up putting Hagar out, and yada, yada, so the story goes. And then a promise was made to Sarah by God that she was going to bear, the promise was made to Abraham by God that his wife Sarah would become pregnant and bear a child. Abraham was 100 years at the time. Sarah was 90, and he just couldn't believe it. I mean, shoots, this woman's going to get pregnant at 90 years old. I'm going to be 100, and this woman's going to get pregnant. And she did, and she produced a son, and his name was Isaac. What does all this mean? We're going to cut this long story short. In the book of Galatians, we're going to fast track to the New Covenant, which is Christianity, and we're going to understand what the Apostle Paul is trying to get those who want to be under this Old Testament law again. He's going to use the story of Hagar and Sarah as an allegory to just show them that there is a difference between the Old and New Covenants. Now here's what he says. Tell me, you who want to be under the law, are you not aware of what the law says? For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, one by the slave woman, that's Hagar, and the other by the free woman, that's Sarah. His son by the slave woman was born according to the flesh. So Abraham lied and slept with the slave woman, had sex with her, and she bore a son. But his son by the free woman was born as a result of a divine promise. Remember I told you that God appeared to Abraham and told him, listen, your wife Sarah, even though she's barren, I'm going to open up her wombs, and she's going to get pregnant and produce a son. And that son was Isaac. Okay, go ahead, producer. These things are being taken figuratively. The women represent 2 covenants. This is in the Red Bible. You got to pick this Red Bible up and read this, because some people don't believe that there are 2 covenants. But it's right there in Galatians 4:24. These things are to be taken figuratively. The women represent 2 covenants. One covenant is Mount Sinai. If you go to Judaism, you'll see Mount Sinai in Jerusalem, the mountain which where the old 10 commandments came from. And she bears children who are to be slaves. This is Hagar. Now Hagar stands for Mount Sinai in Arabia and corresponds to the present city of Jerusalem, because she is in slavery with her children. But the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother. For it is written, go ahead, producer. For it is written, be glad, barren woman, you who never bore a child, shout for joy and cry aloud, you who never in labor, because more are the children of the desolate woman than of her who has a husband. Go ahead, producer. Follow this now. This is very important. Now you, brothers and sisters, like Isaac, the one born according to the promise, are children of promise. At that time, the son born according to the flesh persecuted the son born by the power of the Spirit. It is the same way now. But what does the scripture say? This is very important now. But what does the scripture say? Get rid of the slave woman and her son. For the slave woman's son will never share in the inheritance with the free woman's son. Therefore, brothers and sisters, we are not children of the slave woman, but of the free woman. Now watch this now. Verse number 30 says, but what does the scripture say? Get rid of the slave woman and her son. Now what did the slave woman and the son represent? Which covenant? The covenant from Mount Sinai, which is the 10 Commandments. So in getting rid of the slave woman and the son, you're throwing out the 10 Commandments. It says, for the slave woman's son will never share in the inheritance with the free woman's son. Therefore, brothers and sisters, we are not children of the slave woman, but of the free woman, who is Sarah. And then you need to understand the promise made to Sarah, that to Abraham, that in his seed, all nations were going to be blessed. It takes a while to explain all this. Just thought I'll just crack the ice a little bit. If you want to discuss this further, especially you Seventh-day Adventist churches, please, man, you all need to call me. I'm trying to steer you all from that broad path that leads to destruction. My number is 814-6096. Please call me in your spare time so we can discuss this allegory. Galatians chapter 4, 21 to 31. This here is an extremely powerful passage. And if you take the time to read it, you can learn quite a bit. Thank you, producer.
Indeed.
Back to you.
The scripture, the Holy Scripture. And so one is of the born woman
Yeah.
And one is, I don't know why, I don't know if I like when the
They
Bible
represent two covenants. You saw it?
yeah, but I don't
It's
know
in
if
black
I like
and
when
white,
the
two
Bible
covenants.
keep referring to her as the slave woman, because Abraham never even looked at this
Hagar
woman.
is the slave woman.
Agreed, but but King James calls it a handmaiden. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And and I understand slavery had variations of slavery in it, right? So Hagar wasn't like a cotton picking slave.
Well, she was in the house.
She was a house. Yeah, she was
in the house.
she was a helpmeet.
But that was interesting, hey, that for some strange reason, I'm trying to understand the mindset of the women of yesteryear, especially way back then, that she was barren, couldn't have any children, understood the husband and wife relationship, that this man has to continue his generation. She actually sacrificed her marriage and gave this next woman for her husband to sleep with.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that? Do you think
Yeah,
you get
and
women?
Abraham
You think you
was-
get women to do this today?
And Abraham was such a wonderful slave man. He must have been from the Church of God. Abraham never even looked at Hagar prior to that. You realize that? Because Hagar was in the house all this time.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
wasn't Abraham's idea. God tell Abraham, I can make you the father of many nations.
Yeah.
All Abraham do is
Afterwards.
look at Sarah and say, with what?
This woman 90. Them
Yeah.
wolves and clothes long time.
Yeah.
And he was
so-
100.
Right.
But at 100 years old,
Seed could still go in the ground.
I'm thinking about Abraham being aroused at 100 though.
Don't worry about that. See, one seed in the ground, the next thing is, do you have what it takes to wet seed?
Boy.
And so he put
that's
seed in
something
the
to think
ground.
about. Yeah.
But Abraham don't mess around, because Abraham ain't big up one gal at 100. He big up two. So
Yeah.
he was good enough to get it done the second time around.
Well, he was 90. He was probably, well, he was 100. Sarah was 90. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Abraham is a man among men.
I guess he probably ate a lot from the soil. I understand if you eat a lot from the soil, eat all the natural stuff, veggies and so on and so forth, you tend to be a bit more stronger and live longer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I understand it. Yeah.
Wow.
You see all the mama them who live until 90 and 100, look at their diet and see what they eat.
Okay. They used to eat lard, spiritually.
Yeah, and this is
Some of
what...
them was eating lard.
You think so?
Yes, people over 70 just eat lard. And lard wasn't killing them. I don't understand how.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting story. Genesis 16. Go get your red
Is that Genesis or
Bible.
Revelation?
Look at Genesis chapter 16. Now, I'm getting
Okay.
them to understand the story
Okay.
about Hagar and
Okay,
Sarah,
okay,
so they
okay.
could understand fully.
Okay.
So it's Genesis 16, Genesis chapter 17, and a part of chapter 18. And then when you go to Galatians chapter 4, the Apostle Paul is using that illustration to show you the difference between the two covenants. One came from Sinai and one came from Jerusalem. And getting you to understand that we're not a part of that covenant that came from Sinai anymore. We are now a part of the covenant that came from Jerusalem. Very powerful allegory and illustration indeed. Indeed. All right.
All right, so happening in and around Nassau, I note that the Prime Minister yesterday closed the budget debate. And so the budget moved on to the Senate to be debated there.
And then pass.
And then passed, of course. And then that would be the conclusion of the budget for 2025-2026. And what many believe will be the last budget communication under this administration. And so you remember yesterday that I was in here calling a foul on the play for the Member of Parliament for Maine and Grantstown, who, in my view, took an unnecessary shot at young Travis Robinson, right? Who I described yesterday as a wunderkind. You remember what the word wunderkind means? It means someone that has accomplished, you still have the word there, producer, someone that has accomplished great accomplishments as a very young person, a prodigy, someone that has achieved magnificent things at a very young age. The word is a wunderkind. And I know that ain't how it look in English, but that is because the word has German context.
Wonder.
And so it ain't a wonder kind, it's a wunderkind. And that is what I would describe Travis Robinson as. And all I'm saying is you don't get no points for beating up a person like that, especially if you beat them up in the parliament, because you know that you're doing it while you're protected by privilege. And I've said before that you never need to make an excuse for privilege. So if you use privilege, it is exactly that. So I don't want him to apologize. I'm just saying that you should learn better times to use the privilege. Right? You know, like how in the Bahamas, people like to call the prime minister because you tell them they can't do something that the policies say that they can't do. They don't really call the prime minister for anything life-changing. They call him for silly little things like you didn't let them in the building at 5:01 when the sign on the door says that it closes at 5. Yeah, so same principle applies. If you have the prime minister's number, you don't use it for something stupid like getting in road traffic at 5:01. You just come back to road traffic tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But if you have the prime minister's number, and there are some young boys in your neighborhood that are killing and murdering one another, and you believe that you have a program that may help and the prime minister can direct his budget towards that, that's what you call the prime minister for. That's what you use that privilege for, right? Same principle applies in laws of assembly. So Travis Robinson responded. Do we have the clip from Eyewitness News yesterday with Travis Robinson replying to the member of parliament for being in Grantstown, who he says unnecessarily attacked him with a after fantasizing about having talked to him in some other conversation. Let's hear what Travis Robinson had to say.
A former member of parliament for Bain and Grantstown, Travis Robinson, firing back tonight at current MP Wade Watson after he alleged during parliamentary proceedings on Wednesday that Robinson verbally expressed to him that he's not seeking re-nomination in Bain and Grantstown, also that Robinson ran when things got tough. Well, tonight, Robinson telling Eyewitness News all of Watson's claims are false.
It has been brought to my attention that yesterday, the current MP for Bain and Grantstown, Mr. Wade Watson, launched nasty, disparaging attacks at me and my character during his budget presentation in Parliament. Like a coward, MP Watson hid behind the four walls of Parliament, abusing parliamentary privilege to attack a member of the general public who is not in the House to defend himself. Let me say for the record, Wade Watson and Travis Robinson has never had a conversation concerning my political future. In fact, during my time as the Member of Parliament for Bain and Grantstown, I have never brought the good name of Bain and Grantstown to such low levels.
While Robinson remains tight-lipped on his political future, he sent this advice to the current MP.
Instead of him using the most important time of any MP in Parliament, that being the budget debate time, to talk about programs and initiatives for the people of Bain and Grantstown, making the country and the community better.
Travis,
Garden and Pet Supply. For top quality dog food, shop online at modernisticgarden.com or visit our Palmdale, Carmichael, and Mullet Marathon locations today.
Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. I have to apologize. I get so excited. I just wanted to blow the whistle. I even let y'all hear what Travis say that I think deserve blowing the whistle. And you know, here on Freedom March, we like to make sure you hear what the person say about the person, and then we let you hear what the person, who they say it about, had to say, and then we just wait to see if the person have something else to say. So whether that's Pastor Aquino Manca, when he say God say something about the Prime Minister, and then the Prime Minister say, well, this what Brave have to say, and you know, we still waiting to see if Aquino Manca coming back to tell us if God tell him something else, or whether, who's second baseman was we do it to? Or whether it's Wade Watson saying that Travis Robinson tell him say this thing, and then Travis say, I never talked to no Wade Watson. And now we will wait to see if Wade Watson come back to say something else. Or whether they talk to themselves, like Leonard Sands, who say 80 million, well, how much the thing was, $80 million?
Yeah, 86 million.
It is an absurdity. Only to come back and say, boy, wow, whew, man, boy. Now that I'm looking at it, 80 million might be, wow, so bad. I like to just make sure you hear the whole conversation here on Freedom March, and so that is the purpose of that. So take us to the side, spiritual advisor, and then let me let you all hear why I have to blow the whistle on Travis Robinson today.
Are your dogs hungry and tired of low-quality food? Give them the best. At Modernistic, we carry all the top brands. Taste of the Wild Diamond, Naturals, Victor, Neutral, all at lowest prices in town. If you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49. And for limited time, buy any large bag of dog foods and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. If you can't make it, shop online at www.modernisticgarden.com, and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality, your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry, offer won't last.
Thank you, spiritual advisor. So, Mr. Producer, let's take us back just a little bit in the clip, and then let's hear Travis Robinson's full rebuttal.
Remains tight-lipped on his political future. He sent this advice to the current MP.
Instead of him using the most important time of any MP in Parliament, that being the budget debate time, to talk about programs and initiatives for the people of Bain and Grantstown and making the country and the community better, perhaps because he have no programs, he uses that time to fantasize about a fake conversation that he and I have never had. Even his PLP generals have left him in droves for how piss poor performance of an MP he has turned out to be. For the last few months you have left as MP for Bain and Grantstown, save up your paycheck, and go try open one small business somewhere. Otherwise, you're going to be back on the streets, handing out your resume, looking for a coaching job on a park in some community.
No, Travis, you can't say that.
Yeah.
But no.
You stoke him.
You can't say that.
What do old people say?
Oh, boy.
What do old people say?
You
stoke him.
can't say
Man,
that.
say it, man.
Here's why.
You stoke him.
Here is the fundamental flaw. The fundamental flaw is Travis is a wunderkind, which means you are already held to a higher standard. We anticipate that you are incapable of being stoked.
Yeah, but it makes an argument that, as a member of Parliament, and you have privilege.
You have privilege.
Why would you
But
attack somebody
Travis
who's
also
outside? I can't come in there.
also knows the reach of that privilege. Travis has sat in a parliament before and watched privilege be abused before during his tenure. He understands that privilege is exactly that, privilege. Mm-hmm. And so it should be like water off the back of a duck, that somebody that you claim is less than ideal to be representing the community is in fact on his foot fantasizing, your words, about a conversation that you and him had that you claim never had happened. And all I'm saying is, I ain't had no problem with Travis responding, Travis say, who one come test me, just cross the border, and I agree with that, right? Yeah?
And if you challenge him, he can turn you over.
I And I agree with that. The part I disagree with, though, and I think this is where youthful ambition and tenacity sometimes outruns younger politicians. If a sound boy tests you, you know what to do with him. Mm-hmm. But you have to do all things, like we say in the Church of God, in decency
and in order.
And in order. And so, yes, Wade is in fact a basketball coach. Yes, he has in fact coached basketball throughout the inner city. Yes, he may have been doing that as his primary or secondary employ at some point. Who knows? But as an inner city boy to begin with, who is the mentee of a man who has started a basketball program in the name of helping young inner city boys, preventing them from a life of crime, as someone who was a member of parliament for an inner city community, who understands the value that that kind of initiative brings to your kind of neighborhood, right? All throughout the NBA, you see young boys that come from other than ordinary neighborhoods find themselves with opportunities in the NBA because of the kind of basketball programs like the one Mr. Watson, at some point, according to Travis, will be handing out his resume to run again. You follow me?
Okay.
And so I'm saying, some things you can't make fun of, even if it's political. So Travis, you should have just stopped at, you ain't come up with no program, because you ain't got no program, big man, and come from around here. And that would have been ideal. But Travis, if you say the man could be looking for job as a coach in the... I disagree with that. And I want to blow the whistle on it because it's inappropriate to say that. It is inappropriate to say that. And so Travis, Brave tell me, say, anytime I see anything out of the way, this is the crime fighting strategy, because you all say that the Prime Minister didn't mention a single crime fighting strategy in his budget. And so what? Because he told me 5 years ago
be a whistleblower
what I needed to do to fight crime. And so when as a spiritual advisor, I'm going out tonight, and anywhere I see anything that look out of line,
blow the whistle.
Beware, my brother, because me and my whistle, we are outside this evening, and you all stand no chance against us, all right?
Indeed.
So Travis, apologize to Wade, man, and tell him, I apologize for letting you get under my collar and making it hot, because I usually don't get hot under the collar. I've accomplished too much. I've done a lot in a very short space of time. Travis Robinson will probably be the most youngest elected person in a parliament in the Caribbean for about 50 years. He will hold that record. I can't imagine someone beating him anytime soon. Right? And all I'm saying is, you don't get points for picking them kind of fight. You agree with that?
Okay.
All right. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the line so people could call me. And then I can give away tickets, because I want to do that before 5 o'clock.
It's only one ticket.
No, the ticket them downstairs.
Okay. But there's already been one, right?
No.
Okay.
Stay with me, spiritual advisor.
All right, so how much tickets we got all together?
4.
Okay.
323-7775.
698-0775, 698-0776. So you got to give us 4 tickets. 4 tickets left for this. And this is a pulled pork.
The Pulled Pork Festival.
Which is going to be held tomorrow, June the 21st, which is the official start of summer.
Producer, I'm not taking any chronic calls. If they're not calling for the ticket, tell them call me back. I actually want to talk to one woman who want to take out a decent man tomorrow. And then, of course, I want to give ticket to one man who want to take out a decent woman tomorrow. Any other criteria we have, spiritual?
No, that'll be it, eh?
Yeah. And question number 1 is, what was the name of the device that was on the show yesterday? Who could use it? What they could use it for? And what was one of the special features? Call me right now. Let me get you a ticket for that. You want the man or the woman? Call with that voice. Man or woman? Yeah. Call me and let me know what was the device yesterday, what you could use it for, who could use it, and what was one of the specialty features. 323-7775. We got a call, producer? Let's take the call. Hey.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes,
I can answer the question. There's a decent man who have a decent woman.
Oh, Lord.
They're married for 20 years now.
Oh, praise the Lord. You all from the Church of God, eh?
All right, so the answer is the device is push to talk.
Uh-huh.
And the special feature is it uses the cellular network, so it can't go down.
Uh-huh.
What else you need to know?
Who could use it?
Anybody can use it.
Who I say could use it yesterday?
Kiddo.
When what happened?
You say, hold on. You say, when up, PC, and not PS.
Grandson? Where you going, caller? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Caller, you was on a roll. You think he could call back?
More than likely, I mean, he was almost there.
He was close. Boy, don't miss heaven like that.
Turn your radio
Hello,
down.
caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
I should turn your radio down.
Good day.
Hey, turn your radio down for me.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
One bit of advice for BDC.
Sure, go ahead.
Right. So, BDC and sit up. And Lafayette song, you said, boy, I don't remember, but man, for listening to it on this date.
Titter could use this radio for two things. You remember what none of them two things is?
Right. I don't remember the next thing is.
Oh, wow. So it named the push to talk. Titter could use it. What the special feature is?
I don't recall the special feature.
Oh, boy. We won't help you so bad. All right, let's take somebody else. You got to win, spiritual advisor. I ain't giving them away today. You got to win. Try again, caller. 323-7775.
And 6980775, 6980776.
Hello, caller.
Good. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, look at our rule. Boy knows, Travis know that Watson was a police also too. And free boy.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know he was a police.
So they don't forget that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What you going to say, spiritual?
He didn't call to answer the question?
No, he called to defend Watson.
You giving him 4 tickets. How many questions you have so far?
I got 2 questions. So you got 2 questions.
Okay.
Because I don't like to give people ticket by themselves. Because what you can do by yourself.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so,
So
we
2 questions, 2 tickets.
we already know what one question is. So what your question could be?
How many? It's amazing how you can go to the Red Bible when you say something, people go and check it. How many wives did Abraham have?
Okay, so that's the second question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is, what was the device we had on here yesterday? Who could use it? What is one of the special features? And the person who could use it, what they could use it for? That's question number 1. Don't say that's more than one question, because the BGC asked me the questions just like that, and when I get an F, nobody say that wasn't one question. They let the BGCSE people ask me the question like that all the time, all right? So that's question 1. And then spiritual advisor question is...
How many wives Abraham had? Give me the names of those wives.
You want the names?
And how many of them did he get pregnant?
Well, bless the Lord. Abraham was on a roll. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, yes. How are you?
You sound excited. You got a good mind.
Yes, I do.
You want to take him out tomorrow so bad?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
Lord.
that.
Oh, hallelujah. You saved. You from the Church of God, hey?
No.
Boy, you should join the Church of God. You sound safe. Yeah, so tell me. You answer my question or spiritual advisor question?
I could answer both.
No,
okay,
answer
show
one.
off. So tell me what. Answer the question from yesterday. What was the name of the device?
The item that was on the show yesterday was the push to talk.
Uh-huh. Who could use it?
Tether them down in the Agua and Auckland stores.
Uh-huh. What the special features are?
You have the satellite feature where they could use it without even internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
And then if Tito's grandson down the road doing foolishness, she could say, hey, flat-fat grandson, I need you to come home and do whatever for me.
Now Tita could use it for one more thing. You remember what that next thing is?
Tita could also use it as a cell phone to call.
No, man. If Tita fall down in the peas field.
Or as an emergency, yes.
Yes, because that's most important.
Yes.
And if Tita fall down in the peas field, ain't no problem, because guess what? The batteries stay alive for 3 days.
Right.
So they got 3 days to go find Tita. Right?
Pardon?
if Titter fall down in the peas field, ain't no problem because the battery can be alive for 3 days. They got 3 days to go find Titter.
Right.
Good. All right, you hold the line. We're giving you 2 tickets to the Pulled Pork Festival tomorrow at Arawaki, courtesy of Freedom March.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And caller, you could come and pick them up now. Muchos Vampalos. That sound right?
Say muchos vampalos.
Hey, can't say I don't speak more than one language. Hey caller, welcome to Freedom March.
Spanish and Creole mix. Hello, caller.
Ivan,
Hey.
what's happening? Music spiritual advisor, what's happening?
That's good.
Man and lady beat me to deal, man.
Boy, your foot short.
Well, answer the next question.
Yeah, you could answer spiritual.
I am his wife, Abraham had or whatever. So
Okay.
I know I have one wife. I only have
I
one
was
wife.
gonna tell you he got more wife than me. That gotta be the answer.
So apparently you
God
don't.
bless me with one wife.
Okay.
Oh, praise
So
the
let me
Lord.
ask a question. You don't have a red Bible then?
No, I have a black one.
That's the problem. All right, caller.
Okay.
You take it yourself.
All right, let's see. 323-7775, 698-0775. I want to say hello to the children them in the car again. I like the spiritual advisor. I meet more and more of the children them every day, and I'm very excited about that. I'm so happy that they're tuning into Freedom March. I enjoy that.
Now, I was just being sarcastic with the previous caller. Even though his Bible is black, it can be red. So when I say red Bible,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the color.
So you want to get a black
R-E-D.
red Bible?
I'm talking about the past tense of the word read, which is red.
So they can have a red black Bible or a black red Bible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody, if you pick it up and read it, can have a red Bible.
Indeed.
So when I say red Bible, I'm not talking about the color red. I'm talking about the action. R-E-A-D.
All right.
Red.
Hey, caller, welcome to Freedom March. Call it up. 323-7775. Hello, caller. Hey, how you doing?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes?
Yeah,
Hello?
Hey.
Yes. Hello. You could hear me?
Man, you can't believe how good I can hear you.
My name is Yvette Butler, and I am calling to answer spiritual advisor question.
Yvette Butler, you tell spiritual advisor what you have to say to him. You
How
go
many
ahead.
wives? How many wives Abraham had?
He had 3 wives.
3. Wow.
Name them.
The name.
Name the...
She said, give me the
Hey,
name.
guy.
Uh-huh.
Torah.
Uh-huh.
Who?
Hey, guy.
Hey,
Torah.
girl, who?
Hey, guy. Torah.
Who's Torah?
Well, what is his wife's name? Because I don't even know that.
Who's the second wife? All right.
Oh, boy.
Get yourself
Hold
a red.
on, hold on.
Yeah, I know. Oh boy. Get
Hold
yourself.
on for me.
She said, hold on. She looking for the page. Oh,
No,
boy.
that's cheating.
Yeah.
All right, get
let's
yourself
take
a-
another one.
get yourself a red Bible.
323-7775. Boy, she was hot.
Yeah.
She was hot. She was close.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
you want to answer spiritual advisor question?
got it.
All right, go ahead.
Sarah is the first wife.
Sarah.
Haggai is the second.
Sorry.
Sarah was the first.
Uh-huh.
Haggai was the second.
Uh-huh.
And Keturah was the third.
Keturah.
She had 6 children for Abraham, and Sarah and Haggai had 1 son each.
So how many wives did he get pregnant?
3,
He got all of them pregnant?
all of them
They were
Wow.
successful.
successful.
All right.
Wow.
Now you're correct, caller.
Well, let's
Yeah,
see.
but you could give the ticket away. I don't want it.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
All right, so now
All
we
right.
got to come up with a new question.
All right.
All right, caller,
All
thank
right,
you.
thanks so much,
Take
caller.
care, you.
All right.
Then we'll be asking
Okay.
people next spiritual advisor.
Today, Levi,
Hey,
that's me, man, the first caller.
first caller. Man, I like you so much.
Give him
You know
that.
what? Just for calling back.
Give him that.
You don't worry about nothing, beloved. You think you could remember what Tiddick used the thing for?
Yeah.
What did he use it for?
Emergency device, like she can ping it
Yeah.
if she fall down in the bush or something like that.
In the peas field, because you know Tiddick got to go in the peas field.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You hold
Just me from yesterday too, leaving. With them flagged by Barabbas. They just passed there. They still up.
You have to forgive me. You have to forgive me. I was in high level meetings all day today.
Okay. Sir.
Right? Discussing matters of national importance. And I didn't get to Barabbas today, but I assure you I have a meeting with Barabbas on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
So all you ask God to do is don't let my heart stop. And once that happened, my brother, when I get there to Barabbas,
Yes, sir.
them flag will be coming down.
Roger that.
Good copy.
Yes, sir.
All right, hold the line. Let the producer get your name and your number.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Street to street. So
spiritual advisor, I see that the woman that was the apex or the epicenter, rather, of the fight at C.R. Walker made her debut from prison recently and saw it necessary to give us a play-by-play of what happened. I thought that the people that watch Freedom March should get an opportunity to see this. So take us to the clip, producer.
Who's this person?
You think I know her? I don't know a spiritual advisor.
Okay.
All the people I know have sense. And I suspect anybody that's do this kind of foolishness don't have no sense. But who am I to say? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that there was a fight. I know that parents were said to have been the cause behind the fight.
Involved, yeah.
And I also want to say that upon my hearing that, because I told you before that I have deep-seated sources in deep-seated places. Is that correct?
Indeed.
And so, after I heard about the fight that happened at the school, guess who I got on the phone and called? I called the Prince of Hospital Lane.
Okay.
And I said to the Prince of Hospital Lane, I said, now you tell me, because I know that you are a C.R. Walker Knight. I said, tell me, what is the creed? And you know what he said to me? For to be a knight, a C.R. Walker Knight, is still the perfect way. I said, well then explain this bunch of fighting and broken up the place going on in C.R. Walker Yard. And he said, take no concern about that. It was a brief moment of lapse in judgment. And so he trusts, he's assured me that no such thing shall occur ever again under the auspices or in the perimeter of C.R. Walker Night goings on. Because as the official head of the C.R. Walker Knights Alumni Association Behavioral Committee, he shall see to it that this never happens. I know what they're calling me for. I'm going to go play the clip. I ain't going to go check it. So let's play the clip of the woman that made her debut yesterday from the Western Station, who she said treated her so nicely.
I just come to the cell of the Western Station.
Still got the shade on.
And I want to pick up Kill Beach Police Station too. It's very nice to me, and Western Station is very nice. Even though they let the woman out before me yesterday. But anyways, to the parents, my neighbors and my community, I'm very sorry what happened. I see some of the kids was involved in the fight and everything, but this time, it wasn't my fault. But I still apologize to the parents, to the kids who got involved. When they see the woman bring her son to fight me. I was walking to my auntie Jeep, leaving the ceremony, saying I'll be going to eat something. I say, here come the cell. I still got makeup on. So y'all see me like this? I saw she come with the cell. She bring her son to fight me. He started punching me, then all me and her started fighting. Me and him started fighting, he punched me up. Then all the kids see it, his friends come, so it was a big riot.
Crazy woman. How that make any sense? How that make any sense? Brave, tell me. When I see things that don't look like it makes sense, get a whistle. I have my whistle. You trying to tell me you get dressed up in your clothes, going to children graduation, big grown woman, and a child approaches you, and man.
She said the young man started to punch her. Now, reality is that she have a right to defend herself.
Yes, but you also have a right to have reported that prior to the event. If you believe...
Did this take her by surprise, though? Did she expect...
No, she doesn't sound like it took her by surprise. And you hear her? She said that she went to the event, she was walking to the car, the woman bring her son to fight her. Well, that couldn't have just happened through, like, cosmosis. Something happened to transpire that incident, yes?
Of course, prior to that.
Yes, and so you must have said, listen, I'm a responsible adult. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to lodge a complaint. Not break up the whole school doing foolishness. And you come out of Western Station. She said they treated her so nicely. I mean, she might go back again this week. Who knows, right? Man, but oh boy, and I say it all the time here on this show, Spiritual Advisor. The problem is we have lost the mothers of the church. Because I couldn't go back to church Sunday if I was in this video. When people like Mother Lillian Stubbs come and say, come baby, sit here. What does this Yuma tell me? When people like Emily Williams them say, come, sit down. And mothers of the church had that kind of an impact on people. The problem is these women around here don't know how to pinch and talk between their teeth. You know them kind of woman?
Yeah, well, today we have a bunch of unchurched people, so.
Ah, boy, this is... But I'm very happy to report that all isn't lost in the church. And so while they was breaking up C.R. Walker, some other church and school, I guess we'll bid on the next side of the break, some other school had some children that were righteously rejoicing in the things of the Lord. And we're so happy about that. We'll bid on the next side of the break for you. You hear my jingle though, so don't go anywhere. That means the commercial break is coming. But me and Bradley will be back right here on 103.5 FM, The Beat, right here on channel 224, right here on channel 112, or on ILTV Studios, right here on Facebook. We'll be back. Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on 103.5 FM, The Beat, or 224, or 112, or ILTV Studios, whether that's on cable, or Flow, or on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. But of course, I'm not saying that for you that are already listening to me. I'm saying that so that you could get on your phone and call your friend and tell your friend to cut off whatever else they're listening to and to come over here and listen to us on Freedom March, where the view and the goal is to inform, to educate, and sometimes
entertain.
To entertain. Yeah? So, I just showed you the clip from the woman who enjoyed her stay at the Western Station. I tell you, sometimes you go to the station spiritual advisor and the stay is wonderful. When they locked me up by the Grove Station, man, it was just delightful. And so I trust that this woman had the same encounter. They lock her up in Cable Beach Station, and oh, what a joy it was. And she came out, and she say, what did she say, producer?
They treated her well.
She had a wonderful time.
So more than likely, there were a lot of PLP police on at the time, because this young lady is a very, very strong.
Well, there wasn't no PLP policeman. I was locked up. I was an FNA.
No, most people know you to be a PLP supporter. So more than likely,
I was an FNA.
More than likely, there were PLP police on.
No, when I went in there, Superintendent Sweeting was a fantastic police officer who treated me wonderfully, and he locked me up professionally. And I'd never been locked up so professionally in all of my life. And it was a wonderful little stay there at the Grove Police Station. And I recommend everybody who's going to do crime this weekend, please ask to be taken to the Grove Police Station, where the service is par excellence, second to none. I mean, unless of course you go to the Western Station, according to this woman in the video. But all is not lost, spiritual advisor. And while the people in C.R. Walker was breaking up the whole place, there were some other children, some other place, in some other school. I mean, just look at them rejoicing in the Lord of their salvation. Take us to the clip. So wonderful. I mean, and to just be singing the hymns of the church. Oh, isn't it wonderful, spiritual advisor? It's amazing. Precious Jesus, hold my hand.
It's one of my favorites, actually.
It is absolutely wonderful. All right, let's get to birthdays. Who do we have?
We got a couple birthdays to announce today.
Yeah.
Joseph Roll, I think, is one of our first birthday folks. Happy birthday to Joseph Roll, celebrating the birthday today.
He used to sing with the Cooling Waters?
I know he does sing, but I couldn't tell you if it's a good
I don't know. I mean, just looking at his picture, I feel like...
He's a Church of God fellow.
I feel like he looked like a ship was tossed and driven. That's how he look.
That might be him.
That's how he look to you?
That's him, I think.
You know, I said to my soul, don't you worry, the Lord will make a way.
I believe that's Joseph, because whenever you see him, he's be trying to sing to you.
Okay.
So happy birthday,
Joseph. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Joseph Roll. Teresa Lockhart, we're sending a special birthday shout out to Teresa Lockhart. It's coming in from her loving husband Lawrence and 2 children and her 1 grandson, all the family and friends who love her dearly. Enjoy your special birthday. Kisses and hugs to Teresa Lockhart. Quincy Smith, celebrating the 14th birthday shout out to Master Quincy Smith, coming in from his 2 beautiful grandmothers, Virginia and Leanna, his loving uncle, cousins, and all of his friends who love him so much. Enjoy your 14th birthday. May God keep you in his loving arms. Quincy Smith, happy birthday. Patricia McKinney. Happy birthday to Patricia McKinney, who is celebrating her 74th birthday. Greetings coming from her husband Charles, her daughters Shavonia and Greer. Brothers, Bishop Samuel Thompson, Lula, Victor, McKinney, Anita, Derek, Philip, Paulianne, Andrew, Lillis, Basil, Teresa, and the entire Thompson, McKinney, and Adley family. They love you, appreciate you. Continue to celebrate God blessings and faithfulness. Happy birthday to Patricia McKinney. Looks like that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
So the wind just told me, spiritual advisor, that I was right. You see, spiritual advisor, people don't understand the value of being a church kid, you know.
Let's see.
What are we looking for?
All right, you're kind of late. Boy,
The same people still trying to get birthday shout out at this night.
Congratulations. Good day, sir. Did you guys show this yet? I just reached home. What is this? Congratulations to Rikia Hunt for making a GPA of 3.93, coming from a Grammy Tracy, and a mom, Libya, and a dad, Rick. Okay.
Okay. There you have it.
Sunland Baptist Academy.
Wow.
3.93.
Wow.
Rikia Hunt.
Oh, fantastic.
And of course, for earning over 250 10 points. So congratulations, young lady. You're doing well. Please continue to excel.
Okay.
You
ready?
I guess we'll show our photos later on in the show.
Okay.
All right, producer, go ahead. Thank you.
Put the picture of the Cooling Water Boys back up. I tell you, I know this man was from the Cooling Water.
Oh, Joseph Rowe?
Yes.
You sure about that?
The wind just told it to me. The wind told me that this is Joseph Rowe and that he's from the Cooling Waters.
I haven't heard from that group in a long
But do you remember back in the 90s when the Cooling Waters was like the Beatles? If the Cooling Waters was coming to your church, beloved.
They were the stars of gospel music,
man. What else y'all going to do in church tonight other than listen to the Cooling Waters? The only other group that was bigger than them was the...
Gospel Missionaries.
No. What is it? The Sons of Andres? Was it the Sons of Andres? No, man. Ramen Brothers is a joke.
The Ramen Boys who sing a cappella?
Ramen Brothers is a joke, beloved. Let me tell you when you...
The Ramen Brothers had the best music.
You can listen.
They were the boys who sang a cappella.
You can listen
without instruments, right? They were the best.
No, man, the Region Bells was the a cappella.
If you could sing without instruments
Region Bells
really make
was
music,
the a cappella fellas, right? We are the Region Bells, my Lord, we come. Do you remember that? That was them. I remember that. Sons of Andres. You know, the Sons of Andres used to be the one that used to sing, oh, we going to a meeting tonight.
I remember
we gonna have a good time.
I remember that.
And then there was the fellow with the big belly who used to say, meeting on the old campground. Ooh. Man, that was a wonderful... If you didn't grow up through that in the 90s, you've wasted a lot of your time.
It's amazing.
It was fantastic. And then, of course, you know, there was the Golden Light Gospel singers, Roy Burrows and them with the South Andros, right? And their hit used to be, oh, there was a woman in the Bible days. She had been sick for so very long. She heard that Jesus was passing by. She went and joined the gathering crowd. While she was pushing her way through, somebody asked her, what are you trying to do? And then they had a guy from South Andres named Barry Roll. Barry Roll came from Andres and he had voice like velvet. So whenever they get to the part, Barry would say, she said it was I who just wanna touch the hem of your garment and I know why. And the church girls would all faint. They couldn't stand, they stood no chance against Barry. And he came from South Andres. This is when the cordless mic was just coming. You know, cordless mic was a new thing then, right? And so we would have these concerts by the Joe Farney Road Auditorium or by the Church of God Auditorium. And let me tell you something, my brother. They would make Barry come from as far as this cordless mic could pick up. Barry would be singing for about 3 minutes before he get to the church. That's how far... Oh boy, that's how far they would make him walk with this cordless mic. And she stood there crying, oh. Because this boy could sing. He come from South Andres. I tell you, voice smoother than a baby backside. And when he get in this church, I talking about the church girls falling on the ground. Sing, Barry! And it was fantastic to watch, Spiritual Advisor. You really should have been there. Nothing fun used to happen in your JJ.
Man, listen, we didn't go to church for entertainment.
What you mean? This used to be Sunday night. Hold on now, Spiritual Advisor.
We go to worship,
Sunday
we go to study.
night. No. We was making a joyful noise. What you talking about? We was making a joyful noise.
You're doing what David did under the Old Testament. We worship God in spirit and in truth, according to the New Testament. That's why I tell you, we don't go to church for entertainment.
And so when we had the days of the gospel bands, that was a big to-do. And then you had the gospel impressions, right? That was another set of Andres
Yes,
boys.
I remember them. That's Tracy.
Tyrone Burrows in them. Tracy, Tyrone Burrows,
Tracy
Livingston Bevins.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? And then I think later on you end up with like the gospel flashlights, some boys from out of Kid Island. Yeah. And who used to sing the When the Circle Being Broken by and by, Lord?
I remember all these songs, but I don't remember the artists. Yeah.
Ah, boy. I can't talk to the spiritual advisor about action movies. I can't talk to him about gospel group. But spiritual, I'm gonna.
That's because the first century church is different. We do have singing, but we don't use instruments.
Wow.
Not according to the New Testament.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
So what about praise him on the cymbal and on the harp?
That's David in the Old Testament.
But we like that one.
Yeah.
Just give us David.
You can't find instruments in the New Testament. I wonder if you recognize that.
I can look at it. When I finish looking at the scripture, I can tell you. Anyway, it's 5:12, and in keeping with the tradition that I've been starting here on Freedom March, we opening the phone line then back up. And y'all can tell me if y'all been to any concert in the 90s. Man, they used to be wonderful. No, I got one more story before we open up the phone line. I thought it quite interesting, spiritual advisor, yesterday that this thing happened. We got the clip with Ginger, producer. The Prime Minister, in an interesting turn, almost seemed as though he put a sticker of approval on one member of his cabinet yesterday. I can't recall in my mind of watching prime ministers, right? So what the Bible is for you is kind of what politics is for me. I'm a self-taught student of politics. And I don't know why, my brain just remembers it, right? I think maybe I can say that Christie had the same kind of an affinity towards Alison Maynard Gibson. Because, he would always refer to him, because, Perry Christie calls himself Prime Minister, you know that, right?
Okay.
And so, is that the voice of the Lord? What was that?
Hello?
Master, speak, thy servant now. I hear voices.
Is there a caller there?
No, that's the clip. The clip bleed through.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the voice of the Lord, because spiritual advisor, I was going to just leave you here. I'm not letting the chariot leave me.
Okay.
So, sometimes Mr. Christie, when he referred to himself as the Prime Minister, because, he would say, as Prime Minister, I. And when a Prime Minister thinks. And the whole time Christie talking about Christie, you know that, right?
Okay.
And so you get into these negotiations, and in the mind of a Prime Minister, he really just talking about himself. So he would refer to himself as the Prime Minister, but he would also affectionately refer to Alison Maynard Gibson as the Attorney General, and not as Alison. And so yesterday when I saw the Prime Minister did this, I said, this almost looks like a stamp of approval of sorts, if you will, for one specific member of his cabinet. Let's look at the clip.
What it means to turn a corner, to recover, not just in numbers, but in spirit. I think of Grand Bahama.
Yes. All right.
And when I think of what it means to lead that kind of recovery with vision, focus, and heart, I think of the member for Pine Ridge, the minister. She didn't just call for recovery, she built it. From the first day in office, she focused on getting people back on their feet through the beautiful Grand Bahama program. Over 500 people found employment. She's launched micro grants to empower creatives and innovators. And under her leadership, Grand Bahama is rising again. Over $3 billion in investments are now underway or completed. I ran into one or two Grand Bahamians the other day, and they tell me they're having traffic problems in Grand Bahama. They say they're having traffic jams. The member for Pine Ridge is expanding opportunity the way it should be done, from the inside out, from the ground up.
That's right.
And I'm proud to work and help her to deliver the future that Grand Bahama's waited for so long to see, and they soon will see.
Amen.
Thought that was quite interesting that the Prime Minister singled out a lone member of his cabinet who, for all intents and purposes, holds, in my view, one of the most interesting portfolios. They are minister of an island, which is still a creature that we are watching evolve. It is a Christie concept. I believe I know where it came from. I'm going to hedge my bet and says that Kayla's Rule recommended it to the cabinet, right? But we know that it came about during the tenure of Christie in the second administration. Of course, Dr. Minnis didn't let it go anywhere. And now it's back under the Davis administration, because I guess administrations understand the sense of having cabinet influence with specific attention on a place like Grand Bahama, eh? And with all of the, creating opportunities island by island, which is the obvious undertone in the budget speeches, this budget communication, I thought it quite peculiar. The Prime Minister put a thumbnail down in the middle of the wrap-up of his budget speech to highlight this specific minister who, of course, he alluded to things like the $3 billion in investments and rise in tourist numbers. I'm sure Chester Cooper could be credited for that. He talked about the beautification of Grand Bahama project, etc. I imagine that at some point the Minister of Works may have had some doing with that. He talked about getting people back to work, and I suspect that at some point the Minister of Labour and Public Service could take some credit for that. But he didn't address it as a collective issue. He talked about the leadership that it took to get it done, and the person that helped Grand Bahama to turn the curve, not only in numbers but also in hopefulness. And I thought it was quite interesting that the Prime Minister, kind of pedestalized Ginger Moxie in that way. But I've told you, I went to Grand Bahama, and for a very long time, Grand Bahama sat in ruins. My eye has seen, in my lifetime,
it's slowly turning around,
that there has been a slow uptick in the Grand Bahamian economy with specific focus in that Pine Ridge area. And I guess after many years of being colicky, all Grand Bahama needed was a little bit of ginger. And it is turning out to be magnificent, eh?
Indeed.
Fantastic. All right, so I think that's it. Let's open up the phone lines now.
It's 323-7775. It's the number to call, 698-0775. What about this story about this pastor? 698-0775 or 698.
We have breaking news. We have breaking news. I have breaking news, spiritual advisor. Breaking news coming in. Wanted suspect arrested for murder on the date and time, Friday the 20th of June, 2025 at 2:20 p.m. Location, Rosebud Road, Farrington Road. On the above mentioned date and time, the above mentioned crew, acting on intelligence in collaboration with Grand Bahama, while armed with a search warrant, executed on a blue trim white residence located Rosebud Road off Farrington Road. Upon the arrival of the officers, the front door was breached and the officers discovered a lone male who surrendered to authorities. He was informed that he was wanted in reference to murder. The suspect was then arrested. He was cautioned in reference to the same. A thorough and complete search of the interior of the residence was conducted with no further results. And so, according to my sources,
which murder?
This is the name of the suspect is Ronald Telford.
Okay.
So this is the person that the police have or had as a person of interest in the murder of Inspector Williams, in the bracing daylight robbery at Royal Bank, Palmdale, on Sunday, Father's Day. Of course, we know Ronald Telford popped up as a person of particular interest to the police, and I'm happy to announce, pleased to report, that Ronald stood no chance against the assets of Shanton Knowles. He stood no chance against the might of His Majesty's men. And so tonight, Ronald is in the calaboose. And I suspect that in a time not too long from this time, he shall stand before His Majesty's Magistrates Court, where he will be asked the question of whether he is in fact responsible for the murder of Inspector Lennox Williams. And whenever he makes his plea, justice will take its course, its natural course. And at some point, justice shall prevail. Bravo Zulu to the team that caught Ronald Telford today. Gentlemen, you all deserve a good spin of the beagle. Go and have yourselves a jolly. This is why they pay you the big bucks. This is why you paid the big bucks. And I'm very happy that Ronald didn't let the little green man tell him to resist. Because we have something for resisting, my friend. You know what it's called?
Oh, no, lad.
The smoothing oftener. anytime you resist, my friend, my friends over there that are a part of His Majesty's police force, they will hit you with the smoothing oftener so good that it will smoothen you right off. And so I'm very happy that all you did was surrender, because that is exactly what you should have done. And I actually want you to don't take this long next time. I want you to be like a mayor and just go and see Shanta. Okay? Don't let us have to come look for you. We don't like to do it like that. When we call you, you just come and see us. Yeah? Yeah?
It's a job too easy.
Vem palo. When you hear we looking for you. All right? Good stuff.
Indeed. Do you have any calls?
323-7775. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Afternoon. How are you?
Good.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. You know, I have 4 questions for you, please.
4.
If you would hear me out.
Hi.
One with BPL, with their bill.
Oh, I thought this was... BBL, what happened to them?
With that whistle you have, don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The third, you talk too long when you have a caller on the line. And 4,
get this woman off the phone. Boom! See my magic power, and I wish BPL have power outage through your corner from now until Monday.
But you don't want innocent suffering for the guilty, eh?
Too bad. Don't live next to stupid people. I want the lamp pole to fall down, and I hope BPL can't find no pole to put back in that hole. I saw you coming.
What was number 1?
I care. I care. Ta-da!
Welcome to Freedom March.
And for my next act.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Hey, caller.
Thank you.
You missed out one of the groups from the 90s.
Who?
Sensational Sons of Joy.
Now, hold on now, because I just mixed them up. Because the Sons of Joy, okay, they had a couple of sons. Okay, so they had like 3 gospel. They had gospel impression, gospel expression, the Golden Light Gospel Singer.
Gospel impressions, eh?
Yeah, I already called them. Okay. And then they had the Sons of Andres.
Then the Sensational Sons of Joy.
The Sensational...
They sing the song, keep the fire burning.
Damn, in my... And that's the one where the fella used to get up on one foot and say, fire!
Yes, Elkin.
Yeah, fire! He was good. Keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning.
That's one of the good groups in the
Oh, yeah, man. Man, you listen to me. Listen, you have no idea what you're doing to my heart, yeah. And he was like a big man. He was like 6 foot...
When you go to them program 4 o'clock on the Sunday,
man.
MC.
Oh, that's in his former life, when the concerts would all be emceed by the dynamic duo of One Touch.
Helen Murphy.
No, it would be One Touch Brother Hutch and Vaughn P. Miller. You remember?
I remember a lot of Helen Murphy too.
Yeah, and they
Dr. Barry, something.
They actually had a little catch line. They would say, it's gonna be a concert you don't wanna miss, so don't you meet us there, beat us there. You remember that?
Yes, those days are gone.
Wow, that was so fantastic. Spiritual advisor said he never even heard of this kind of stuff. I don't know where he been.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Thank you, caller.
See you guys. Have a good afternoon.
All right, you take care. Great.
Yeah, the soulful Sons of Joy. Yes.
Okay.
Keep the fire burning in my soul. And the fellow used to play the guitar and say, that's the only thing you know how to play on the guitar.
All right, they have the whole until after the break.
Little crazy woman.
What was number 1, man? Producer.
Ask it again. You think I just play? And I wish the lamp pole through your corner fall down, and I want water to be in your phone line for a month. So every time you call this show, it could just buzz and I could know it's you. Don't move, we coming back after this break. Hello, thank you for staying with us through the break. I'm so happy to have you back with us. I tell you, I like Benny Hinn, girl. I will lay you out if you call back. Call. You see this? All it is, touch! See that? You see how fast it has happened? Wow. Let's go to the phone line. Man, it's just make me excited. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Mr. Miller and spiritual advisor. How are you all this afternoon?
Doing well, thank you so much.
Listen, I'm one of those. Listen, my heart, I stopped calling the show because my spiritual advisor, along with my leader, they were two of my favorite people. But Mr. Miller, I listen to you and spiritual advisor every day. And I love how you touch some of those retarded people who's calling.
I have whistle. You want me? I'll blow the whistle for them if they play. Brave tell me get a whistle so when things get out of hand, beloved. And my whistle, I get this whistle from Barabbas, boy, and this could blow? Wow.
I love how you blow it too.
Yeah.
But listen, Mr. Miller, to me, you are so intelligent. You remind me of my leader, okay?
Wow,
I
thank
need
you.
to speak to you. Can I leave my number where I can talk to you?
Sure.
I was talking to my leader about the situation. And let me tell you, I am very upset. I'm from Andros, okay? How do you put it now? I'm from Central Andros, okay? And I've been hearing everything going on with different island stuff. Nothing. Only place I hear is mangrove tea, and that's one of the little dots in Andros.
Central Andros would mean that you are in Mr. Leon Lundy's constituency, yes?
I ain't with him. Listen to me. I am with Leonardo.
Oh, you and Nabi?
Yes.
Okay.
But see, I don't know why is it especially. Let me give you one short history. In 1972,
wow.
You always talking about the 40s and under. You know, I'm one of those old what you call them people.
Well, I kind of is a biddy. You know that, right?
Listen to me, man. I opened up a constituency, San Andres, with Mr. Fred Mitchell and A. Loftus Roker. God bless his soul. He was one of the best MP North Andres ever had, more than Central Andres, okay?
Okay.
And Mr. Miller, I need to tell you the situation because nothing, I want to go home so bad.
Wow.
But there's nothing home to go to.
Well, I know Leonardo Lightborn is somebody that is always on the ground down there, but...
He is on the ground, but Mr. Miller, even though he's on the ground, I am not saying anything to that extent.
Okay.
Because, first of all, we don't have a decent airport.
Yeah.
The other day, Mr. Miller, you are I know you're a young, intelligent young man. I really would want to speak with you one-on-one.
All right.
Let me leave you my number, and you can please give me a call.
Sure.
Because me and my leader, we were talking about a situation for me going back home.
So I will commit to doing this. I have a very important meeting when I leave the studio, but I guarantee you tomorrow morning, I have something to do for the college. I'm graduating, believe it or not. And so I have a college commitment tomorrow, and then right after that, you know how they say it in church? The next voice you will hear will be none other than that.
I would appreciate hearing that voice tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay?
Consider that done.
Okay, so you want me to leave?
Yeah, hold
number?
the line. My producer will take your number.
Thank you, my dear.
All
You
right.
and spiritual wise have a blessed evening. I just love you. You almost make me feel good with spiritual wise and the way how you, my leader he was making my leader feel. Okay?
And I want you to do me one favor.
Yes, dear.
Tell all the crazy people out there. Don't mess around. Brave to get your whistle.
Let me tell you, like I always tell people, I want the young people to do something in life.
Wow.
And you are one of those I see will take a spot where my leader left.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 3237. Yes, ma'am.
You and my spirit advisor, you all have a blessed and a productive weekend.
Yes,
Thank you.
You too. Take
care. On the
care.
line for us. 323-775-6980-775. I don't mess around, spiritual advisor. My whistle is prime and ready to go.
I'm gonna blow you up.
Listen, if you fool around in here today, Brave tell me, blow the whistle. And the whistle is, listen, the whistle is instant. As soon as you do something stupid, when I blow the instant. Wow. To Brave, that was a beautiful idea. Let's take another phone call. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Not there? Let's take another one. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon. How you both gents doing?
Doing well.
Awesome. Mr. Miller.
Yes.
While I truly commend the officer for the arrest made in the case of the reservist who was tragically killed, you know, I can't help but to think of my own brother who was taken tragically from us 3 years ago.
Wow.
As he arrived home from work.
Wow.
And despite countless call and follow-ups, we've received no answers. And it's very painful because it appears that justice only moves swiftly when it's persons in uniform.
Wow.
And for me, that does something to me.
I can
Just how you can move swiftly for an officer. He's a human being, so it's my brother.
Indeed.
But nothing has happened. You can't get no answers.
Wow. So have you? I mean, so when last have you done how exactly have you been following up?
Well, I went to the station on 2 times.
Okay.
I also they said before you come to the station, call.
Right.
You call. When you call, nothing has happened yet. We'll get back to you.
Wow.
And nothing happens. It hurts because, listen, they're all human beings.
Indeed.
Yes, that gentleman, I know him. He's a very nice person.
Indeed.
My brother was an awesome father, the best brother. Listen, he had a heart of, you could have gotten anything from this gentleman.
Wow.
Came home from work and was killed tragically wrought. Come on, man.
Yeah. No, we extend our condolences with that. I'm always very hard pressed when these kinds of things happen because you don't really know what the exact answer to it ought to be. But I'm sure that they're hearing your concern here. I don't know if you want to call his name. Maybe that may get the persons that are working on that file to
yes, his
remember
name
that
is
is
Jermaine Williams.
Jermaine
Williams.
All right. So I'm gonna hope, and who knows? Hopefully, like I said, they listen. They all do, and I am hopeful that the person that does have carriage of that matter is listening, and that your calling here today kind of jolts them into some additional action. But I have every confidence that the police force continues to do the very best they can with the assets they are afforded.
No, don't get me wrong now. The police does a very good job.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
But what you're saying up to date, there's no one has been arrested for your brother's murder?
There was something they had in custody,
Sorry?
and then he was released.
Someone was in custody.
What's that in release?
He was.
So since then, nobody else has been brought in or questioned as a result of your brother's murder?
That is correct.
And the police haven't given you any answers as to why this has happened?
That is correct.
Wow.
All right.
3 years ago?
Jermaine Williams, you say, right?
That is correct.
Where did this incident happen?
At his house.
His house where?
Right. Oh man, right now I can't even talk with it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, give us a call. We're going to speak with the Minister of National Security on this, okay?
Thank you.
Let the producer take your name and number, and we'll speak with the Minister of National Security to see if there's any resolve to this matter. We understand the police does have a really good, record with dealing with murders and trying to solve them.
Yeah.
But after 3 years, no, you should have, something should have happened, All right? So give the producer your name and your number, and we'll speak with the Minister of National Security on this matter, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm so
and,
sorry.
May you find peace.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Carla.
That is
I'm so sorry.
All right.
Wow.
Welcome to they on the line 323-777-75-698-0775. Hi caller, welcome to Freedom March. Turn your radio down. Hey, turn your radio down a little bit for me. What's up?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It's hard to hear someone talk about the vision. Murder is not just
Yeah.
What we do need, though, is for the public to understand that the police can't solve these crimes in isolation.
Sorry? Now, caller, do us a favor.
He says that the police can't solve the crimes in isolation. He's probably talking to us in a headset. If
That's a headset.
That's
like the wind is probably blowing in it, and it's, you know, gobbling your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Can hear you.
Okay, what I'm saying is police can't solve these crimes in isolation. Most crimes that go unsolved is because they don't get the cooperation of the public.
Then that's
I completely agree.
This murder may have been solved quickly. A person may have been identified quickly just because these things were on social media. There were CCTV cameras that showed the murder.
Yeah,
so
showed the vehicle, showed the license plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're saying...
it's not a lack of the police going out and investigating matters. While we sympathize, the public needs the
public engagement is necessary.
Yeah. Right, but here's the problem, and I think you may be a police officer, but here's the issue. People may want to be forthcoming to help the police resolve issues, but the problem, though, is they may be identified, and how does the police protect them from identifying these people?
But
that's the problem.
But there is one other issue in my mind that is greater than that, caller. Then I'll tell you something that is a peeve of mine, yeah?
Right.
If the little fight would break out by C.R. Walker yesterday, right? Somehow I got 100 recording of this. I done been in about 13 group, and I done see about 50 different angles of the fight. Follow me?
Right.
The thing I never understand, and one of the incidences that have occurred in this country in the last 20 years that sticks with me the most, is the shooting through Pitt Road, where the young, I think third grader, was inside the house studying, and the bullet went through the wooden wall and shot and killed him. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I grew up in the Pitt Road area. I went to T.G. Glover in the first iteration of my life, right? And you know, it was the one thing I couldn't understand. I have never driven through Pitt Road in 40 years of life and people not be standing in the street. How did a car case this area long enough to execute this? And on the one day that it happened, no one in the road.
No one see that.
No one got no cell phone. I find these things unbelievable. And you know, I'm an inner city boy all of my life. I grew up in two inner cities, Paynestown and Angliston. Right? My mother is from Ruperdale Lane. My daddy is from Minnie Street. And so all of my childhood I spent traversing the inner city. I remember when there was a duty, particularly for the boys of a neighborhood, to by all means protect their neighborhood. And I wonder where that has gone. And
it doesn't exist anymore, Levan. I'm spiritual. I hear you, but I don't agree with you. I don't agree with this notion that people are using the excuse.
No, that's not an excuse.
People may find out who they are when they give this information.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do we have a witness protection program in the Bahamas?
They do have a witness protection program.
Let me ask you a question. How effective is it?
It's effective. How many witnesses in that program have you heard that have met some demise?
Good point. I think maybe one, but outside of that, I don't know of another one.
But you recognize that people are scared to give information because they're afraid of...
I don't accept that.
No, it isn't a matter you accept it. It's reality. That is the truth.
And the reason these people have that fear is because people have this fear-mongering mentality to tell them that when they go and give information, this is what's going to happen.
But you always record everything else. My issue is they just record everything else.
Exactly, Levan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know, here's what I've been hearing, and it's reality, that in this country, friend got friend.
No, I agree.
And you know, you give evidence, you help the police to solve these issues, and then you don't know who the police friend with.
I don't like to take that position.
Okay, so what do we do? Because everybody
and so we hand over our country to...
Don't we have the police?
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm not saying that.
I appreciate you for calling. I take that point. I don't know if I agree with this either because
yeah, and I know why. Because you two, you two are officers.
The evil thrives in the society where the good men
people do
surrender.
Exactly.
To men with malicious
if
intent.
we can properly hide these people's identification.
I want you to know.
And protect them.
I want you to know.
They will probably be more forthcoming.
I want you
with
to know
information.
that law.
That program exists. We already discussed that program exists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
And
I want you to be aware of this. I want you to be aware
you.
of this, spiritual advisor. On every occasion, this country gets an opportunity, regardless of the administration. Some administrations better than others, right? Like I tell people all the time, in my mind, Tommy Turnquest, in my view, was one of the best ministers of national security we've ever had. If it was a problem that money could fix, Tommy threw money at the problem. He don't need the logistics. Just tell him what you need, Tommy will buy it. And that is what you do in the fight against crime. Because here is what the goal is. The goal is for criminals everywhere to understand you will not outrun us. In the small instances that you might outrun us, you will not outlast us.
We understand.
And that
we understand.
We will precipitate upon you if the need arises. There is no getting away from us. We are the rising and the setting sun. Wherever you go, you cannot hide from us. And the only way to do that is to continue to expand vulnerability.
Yeah, but that doesn't scare these criminals. I mean, I hear you,
and
but that don't scare them.
I tell you,
they're still going to grab the AR-1.
Sleeping in the calaboose tonight.
Yeah. As he should be.
Tonight. Who know he in the little blue and white house? We know. You know why? Because wherever you go, I don't care how fast you can't outspeed us. You can't hide from us. We are everywhere. And we will get you. And it is as simple as that. So give us the information. Just tell us where they are. They cannot come to get you because we are going to get them. Yeah. That is what's going to happen.
Yeah, we have any more calls? But I'm sorry for keeping you holding. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live. Go ahead, caller. Are you there?
Mr. Miller.
Hi.
Mr. Spiritual Advisor, how are you all doing?
We're doing well. Thank you so much, caller. How are you?
Yes. What I like about your show, when someone called to make the damn your spirit, someone else called to uplift your spirit, and you're all doing a good job.
Thank you.
So you have a pleasant evening, and God bless you both.
Yes, ma'am.
God bless you.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you too.
And
yes,
if they think they can get away from me,
you got a whistle.
I'll blow them from here to forevermore be. You know what that is?
Yeah, that's hell.
Okay.
Welcome to Freedom March Caller. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, President, good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Roland, Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, look at you guys. Keep it up, man. Especially Mr. Miller, you guys doing an awesome job.
We appreciate you.
God putting fair and criminals out there. But I just called to acknowledge one of the gospel groups from Andres.
Okay.
The Redemption Gospel Singers.
Now, what they used to sing, you can't just call their name.
Wonderful to have a friend like Jesus in your home. We need to have more songs like that.
That was a song that you should go something like wonderful to have a friend. I go up in the church of God, you know.
Apostle Leon Wallace.
Oh, man. Hey, but you know something, Cole? I will tell you this. You know what was the one act that kind of moved all of these groups out of the way? Can you guess?
Go ahead.
The singing prophet Lawrence Roll. You remember when Lawrence hit the scene?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, man, when Lawrence come, oh, when the battle is over, we shall wear a crown. Oh, when the battle is... And I'll tell you how. I'll tell you why I say Lawrence replaced these bands. Because you remember when we had the bands of the 90s, right? Like on a given Sunday afternoon when you had Sunday, what do you call it? Singspiration.
Yes.
You would need like 5 or 6 or 7 band, yeah?
Yeah.
And then Lawrence Roll appeared on the scene. And Lawrence ain't need nobody else on this ticket. Lawrence won, come here to sing to you all for 4 hours. I like.
Yeah, man. We just need to put God first and let's keep that religion
PGF.
going, man.
Yeah. That's good advice, Cole. I appreciate taking this call on a Friday.
PGF.
Yeah, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah,
all
man,
right.
you too. Take care.
You know nothing about Lawrence Roll?
Lawrence Roll.
Man, when Lawrence hit the scene, Lawrence say, what, when peace, like a river. And I like the way he's break down on, did my way.
Oh, Lord, what is this?
When
I gotta go through this.
Roll like sea, billow roll. And then he do the little back scuff.
Oh, man.
Whatever, my Lord.
Do we have any more calls, producer?
Lawrence is wonderful. Hey, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
You're an entertainer.
Hey, Mr. Miller, spiritual advisor. I hope you all doing well.
Yes, how you doing?
Listen, that was crazy lady that called, but she had 4 points, and then the number one was BPL.
What was number one? Is BPL?
Yeah, that was her first.
What was the fourth one?
Now, I must commend BPL because I've seen a drastic change in the bills over the past couple of months.
Okay.
Now I know when summertime comes, that will change, right?
Yeah. Don't forget to keep. Don't forget.
On the other hand, I'd also like to add. I don't know what's going on down there with their operations, but I would have canceled an account sometime in December 2024, on the 28th to be exact. And that was the credit that they have for me. They said I'd get it within 4 to 6 weeks. Well, it's 6 months later, and I have yet to receive that. So I didn't get an option to transfer to my account, nothing. Followed up with the supervisor when there once, and those people act as if I owe them something.
So that's
really ridiculous.
Hold the line. Give your name and your number to the producer.
Let me ask you a question. That credit, was that your security deposit?
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Hold the line. Give your name and your number to the producer for me. I have a wonderful contact in BEC, right?
Thank you.
My contacts don't mess around. You know that, right? We big
I know,
time.
Mr. Miller. That's why I decided to call the show.
My granddaddy used to say, we big time or no time, honey. All right? So you give me a chance. Let me send your name and your number to my contact, and I'm going to try to get them to give you a call. Give them till about Tuesday-ish, eh?
Thank you. I'd appreciate that, Trump.
All right. Yeah.
This is giving money back now, that security deposit.
Don't worry about that. We can get that sorted out.
Okay.
We can get that sorted.
It ain't been sorted for the last 6 months.
Sorted out. Don't worry about that. She ain't never called us for 6 months. I have a question. To the woman who me and spiritual advisor send to catch the bus, you stuck on the bus, eh? I ain't hear back from that woman yet.
Which woman?
Remember the woman say she was going to go test out the bus that Friday. She said call us back that Monday to tell us how the bus ride was. But she love it so much, spiritual advisor, she even ain't never come up.
Listen, and to you 3 bus drivers who day before yesterday around 6:45 or 6:50 p.m. Who apparently thought that Blue Hill Road South was a racetrack. You're a disgrace.
Wow.
You ran every single car off the road.
Wow. Did you get their license plate numbers?
Come on, gentlemen.
Did you get the license plate number?
One man, they were just, I had to swerve on the side. Another car, a gray Honda.
All you do, see, you can use
but
your phone for more
they had
than
already
porn.
passed me.
All you have to do is...
That wasn't even worded to me. Because I already know how these bus drivers go.
No, man, see, and when men of goodwill give up their goodwill to the men of evil, they surrender their society.
The 3 bus drivers, you know who you are if you listen to the show. You had
culpable.
Blue Hill Road South for yourselves.
You culpable. They would never do that in front of me.
You took away the rights of everybody else.
And I'll send their plate straight to the controller of road traffic, and that'll be the end of them.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, I have a shout out. Hello, Vernal Brennan. Thank you so much for tuning in to Freedom March. I understand that you tune in every day and that you enjoy watching me and the Spiritual Advisor every day at 4 o'clock. It must be his boyish charm and good looks that you show up for every day. And for that, we thank you. Let's take a phone call. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you there? Nope. Let's take another one. 323-7775. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Levan.
Hey.
Levan.
Hey.
For God's sake, please give Anya Johnson. I think if for 2 days she's been trying to get to live in the back of Johnson, we should teach you, man.
She been trying to get tickets from me?
Yes, the girl who beat the bass drum from 3 days ago, man. Miss Johnson, who live in the back road from you, who's a teacher.
I know Miss Johnson, my teacher. My teacher from Teacher Global.
For her daughter, Anya Johnson.
Oh boy. See how they put pressure on me? Let me see what I get.
You got pressure on me. I get to beat up.
I never know. I had no ticket for Anya.
Yeah, you remember I told you 3 days ago that a girl with nice eyes is beat Bishop?
Yeah.
And you tell her call you that Niana was trying to call you for 3 days?
Oh, but then, man, you all must see like the prophet of Baal, because I hear you all call it.
But we can't get it. I hope they get it just now.
Oh, boy. All right. Let me see what I can get done for Anya, okay? Essentially, that's Miss Johnson's daughter. Miss Johnson taught me wonderfully when I went to TG Glover.
Yeah, can't pick it up.
All right.
All right.
Spiritual advisor, we almost over the show.
Johnson. Okay.
Yeah. You want let's get them the advisory now?
Yeah, we only got 60 seconds.
Yeah, so the advisory is, listen, it's Friday. Out there about to get crazy. You know, I understand that they just knock down at least 3 lamp poles every Friday. Y'all try to don't knock down no lamp pole this Friday, all right? Let's see if we can work on that. What does
the government charge you for that? Is it $800? $900?
No, I never knocked down no lamp pole.
I think you have to pay for it.
Yeah, if you live.
Wow.
Yeah, if you live. Because you see these new transfer switch they putting on them lamp pole, my brother. You see the size of them?
Yeah, that's true.
If one of them drop on your car,
you're in trouble.
Woe will be unto you. That's all I can say.
You have to make up your mind if you want big, fried, or extra crispy.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's Friday. Do everything you can in your power this weekend to ensure that you don't kill nobody. More important than that, though, do even more in your power to make sure nobody don't kill you. And if you do that, we'll see you right here next week on Freedom March.
If it's the Lord's will, we'll be back on Monday at 4 p.m.
Yeah. See you then.
Have a good weekend, everybody.